Hello, and welcome to the bi-weekly IoTeXperts live stream brought to you by the folks at IoTeX. My name is Robert Wolf, and I'll be your host today and every 2 weeks as we take a deeper dive, deeper look at the IoTeX developer ecosystem and explore the many things going on in and around this exciting space. Each of these live streams will start with developer updates, followed by in-depth conversations about IoTeX, short of breath, and our growing developer ecosystem. Joined by featured experts, we will discuss a plethora of topics tailored for developers, showcase opportunities, explore resources, and bring new and exciting IoTeX developments to light. Each of these events will finish off with an audience Q&A. And this week, we'll be joined by two featured guests, Chi Zhang and Scott Shi from ZettaBlock. Taken from their website, I'm going to tell you a little bit about ZettaBlock. ZettaBlock is a one-stop blockchain data platform to make data indexing, querying, analyzing, and sharing easy and flexible. This is not a sponsorship. We'll dive deeper into ZettaBlock during this stream, and we'll get to meet Chi and Scott just shortly in just a moment. As a reminder, if you enjoy this broadcast, please make sure to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the IoTeX YouTube channel for more content like this. Now, before we bring on our guests, I want to welcome the one and only, very familiar Giuseppe to the call because he has an update on SmartCon as he attended the event last week. I heard it was a lot of fun. You have some pictures to share. Take it away. What kind of cool stuff happened?
Well, first of all, Robert, that delivery was worthy of a professional Shakespearean actor. That was,
I try to keep it humble and like very true to who I am,
Yeah, wow, that was impressive. And we also haven't seen each other in a few weeks because then I was a tip in the week before, you weren't around, and finally we're back. So I'm very happy to be back in normal circumstances.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like you were saying, I mean, it's been incredible. New York for the past couple of weeks has just been a hub of thousands upon thousands of blockchain enthusiasts, great companies, developers. It's been crazy buzz. So we were at Tippin for the past episode. I was live there. We also did Ledger Fest. And then SmartCon. And SmartCon was super fun. Obviously, it was sponsored by Chainlink. We got to meet a lot of great developers. And really, all I wanted to do today was just show the people that watch this, just a couple of pictures, because we got to meet other people from the IoTeX team. And I got to meet some interesting developers. And then just maybe share a couple of the insights or a couple of things that I've learned over the couple of days that it's lasted. So I just wanted to basically share my screen real quick and
please
show you a couple of pics.
Yeah, I was following the Twitter with IoTeX, the IoTeX Twitter. I believe you're posting on that, right, Giuseppe? You're the responsible
the one? IoTeX tab, yeah.
Man, you do a great job. There's some really cool stuff being posted out there. If you're not already following it, it's IoTeX_dev. And it's a great source of developer-related activities that are happening around IoTeX. And I'll share that in just a moment. Of course, anything we talk about during the broadcast is, of course, shared in the description afterwards. I'm ready to share your screen as soon as you migrate off of there.
Let's do it, yeah.
There we go. All right.
Cool. So I just wanted to show a couple of pictures here. And you can see we had, we met Roland. We met the other folks that live in New York. That's me, Marcus, and Claire. We met Larry that came all the way. I think he was in California before that. And then Christian that's down in Florida. Andrew was there as well. And so, yeah, it was great fun meeting everybody and everybody was having a good time. Then I have a couple of pictures from SmartCon. This is me and Chainlink Jesus. I met Patrick Collins from Chainlink. And also these two folks that might be familiar, Sergey Nazarov and Eric Schmidt from ex-CEO of Google, and obviously Sergey being Chainlink CEO. They actually had a great talk. Even Sergey's kickoff talk was amazing, really inspiring. And I have another quick picture here of how the event looked like. So it wasn't super busy, but I mean, because the space was gigantic, so it didn't feel like cramped, but it was actually really fun. I'm not sure if it's worth like going into some of the stuff that I've learned specifically for developers. What do you think, Robert?
Sure. Yeah. If you have any quick updates, yeah, I mean, that'd be fine.
Yeah, for sure. So the most important thing that I feel it's really important for developers and all the projects in our ecosystem is that really, if there is one major takeaway from all this, is that us at IoTeX, being this off-chain computing infrastructure and delivering real-world data to for the apps and other applications on the blockchain. I mean, we're really on the right track. So the huge buzz, the huge the next how would you say, the next wave in Web3 is definitely now with the real world data, and everybody is doing it in their own ways, obviously. And even at Tippin, I mean, I saw, for example, very use case specific companies that were trying to solve this problem. Chainlink itself is doing it in its own way, but I feel that the strength of IoTeX is that we really cater to basically any sort of scenario. It's very broad, very horizontal, and I think it's going to be one of the main strengths that's going to play out and definitely pay off in the next few months.
Touching on this, because we've been
Let's
hosting.
touch on it.
Let's touch on it. We've been hosting a weekly IoTeXperts office hours in our Discord server. Now, this is really important, and it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen that y'all join Discord. But all this being said, it's been amazing to see the developers join this Discord server and slowly watch this IoTeXperts office hours kind of grow as projects are being built on IoTeX. The developers and people who are running these projects start to join us in this IoTeXperts office hours every week. And the discussions are just evolving into very, very, I think, fun, interesting. Everyone's learning. Everyone's talking about just cool stuff. And I love seeing this ecosystem grow, the developers grow inside this ecosystem, and all the cool stuff that's being built, and just the opportunities that are being offered to the folks who are participating here. You're there every week too, Giuseppe. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, that's actually amazing. It's like seeing actually something grow. For example, we were talking to Will from EnviroBlog just a few minutes ago in the office hours, and then we often talk about my Genie, that's your baby. And just seeing it all grow and seeing all these other projects coming to life, other ecosystem projects that we are in talks with, that we might have, in the later live streams, it feels good. It's awesome. And it shows that we're really in the right direction. So that was just a quick update that I wanted to send out.
That's awesome. Thank you, Giuseppe. And we are still right on schedule with a minute to spare. It's time to bring in our featured guests from ZettaBlock. I'd like to officially welcome Chi Zhang and Scott Shi to the table here, to the brown table. And just a quick reminder to everyone real quick, as we meet with Scott and Chi, if you have any questions for them, post them in the YouTube channel. We will be sure to bring them to them. Also, stick around, because after this segment, we have our Jeremy's Discord minutes, all the cool stuff that happens in Discord throughout the last 2 weeks. Jeremy pulls the best questions and then brings them to us live. He'll be joining us at the end of this segment to talk about that. So, Scott, Chi, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So as we usually like to start these featured guest segments, I think it's really important to get to know you two personally and professionally, if that. So if we could get a little bit of an origin stories, 1 or 2 minutes about yourself and what you do at ZettaBlock. And we'll start with you, Chi, and then move over to you, Scott.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. Hey, guys, this is Chi Zhang, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of ZettaBlock. And before funding ZettaBlock, I used to lead product management at Databricks, one of the big data infra company. And at Databricks, I was mainly focused on data engineering solutions such as Delta Lake Table. And before that, I got my PhD in statistics from UC Berkeley, focusing on machine learning and causal inference. So I actually started my career as a machine learning engineer, a machine learning researcher, and before my graduation, before my PhD graduation, I actually also joined a very early stage startup, aka three men startup as a founding member working on automated machine learning platform. So during my journey at that startup, it's actually a very rewarding, very fruitful journey that we grow the team from 3 of us to over 200 people, and also definitely getting involved into a lot of very, very interesting industry machine learning problems. For example, for IoTeX, you guys are dealing with IoT data. So for one of the most important IoT device machine learning problem is preventative maintenance. So that's one of them, and also for finance companies, fraud detection, all kinds of interesting questions. But while I was doing the machine learning stuff, initially, because I was a machine learning researcher, so I was so excited. I felt like the human society should get into AI and machine learning era. But what I realized is people are actually stuck, or companies are stuck with the data, because there's a term called the garbage in and garbage out. So without good data, every algorithm you train downstream is garbage, basically. So that's why I got into more like the data infrastructure space and help customers how to build and maintain a modern data infra so that they have good and well-maintained data for their downstream data analytics and machine learning use cases. That's where it's brought me to the Databricks journey and spent some time there, and also realized, oh, actually there's still so many problems have not been solved in the modern infrastructure. For example, now the modern data infrastructure has become too complex, too fragmented. How for a newbie, not a company without a tremendous or countless resource in the data infra team, how they can maintain and build a good solution for their data infrastructure. This is one type of example. And another thing it's become a little bit more technical, but I still want to mention is now people realize for data sources, using the cloud data infra, like Snowflake, Databricks, or BigQuery, it's help you to break the data silo, bring all the data together into the data warehouse. However, once it's in, it's actually in the end, it's hard to come out. So basically the data is stuck in those places where it's supposed to help you to break the data silo. And how you can actually make the data very useful to the business use cases. Again, that's become, I would say, one of the topics now people need to solve in the data infrastructure space. By the way, that's later on, we can talk about how ZettaBlock is helping companies in the Web3 space to solve the problem. That's my, I would say, 3 minutes.
Cheesang in a nutshell. Yeah, no, that's quite an impressive resume, Chi. Very impressive, and that's awesome. In fact, real quick, Scott, before we move on to you, I just want to share a little anecdote here. You mentioned all this data garbage, right? And if we look back into the past, not too long ago, in fact, most data, almost all data, was from the servers outwards to the people. Right? We're talking about like 70-80% of data. This was when YouTube and Netflix first started. And now, I think I talked about this in a past episode, but now we've actually seen this transition as compute makes its way out into the user's hands, as compute makes its way out into the IoT world. We're seeing actually a transition. Now, most data is moving outwards, inward for compute. The compute is happening at the edge, the compute is happening at the endpoint, but data is moving from the outside in as opposed to the inside out. So there's this huge transition. ML at the edge, ML at the IoT space, ML anywhere, in fact, is very important. Anyways, quick anecdote. Thank you, Chi, for your introduction. And Scott, you're up.
Scott, you gotta follow that.
So just one more sentence. Actually, I just shared with Roland, the IoTeX CEO, a new paper that's written by a professor about how you can improve the compute efficiency on the IoT device for deep learning algorithm. But that's another topic. So we can talk about that later if you guys are interested. But
there's like, just, you mentioned it, there's so much room for innovation and new things to happen in this space. So absolutely, we got to have you on another call possibly in the future, maybe a one that's specific to ML with your portfolio.
Or maybe this one 6 hours long.
24-hour stream. All right, Scott, happy to have you here. Let's hear your origin
Great,
story.
great. I definitely want to add a few more points to Chi's background she never mentioned. First is that she actually graduated from Berkeley with PhD degree at age of 24. So that's quite impressive. That's actually the earliest, the youngest PhD I ever know in my personal life. Another thing is that she was a professional athlete before joining university. So she's
wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, congratulations, yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so for myself, I graduated from University of Illinois and Urbana in Champaign. At that time, focused on distributed system. And then after graduation, I joined Salesforce as early engineer in Salesforce analytic team. So build an Airflow from scratch, design and implement Airflow from scratch, from zero to like 500,000 data flow runs per day. At that time, there was no Airflow. So basically, we designed it in parallel. And then after that, I joined Uber. Joined Uber as the first engineer in Uber safety data team, and then lead a project from myself to 200 full-time employee within a year and a half. I actually pitched the idea to executive team to say, hey, guys, this is very important. So that's why at Uber, my expertise is actually focused on data infra and also data quality. It's like find from the billions of data points, find a few thousand ones which are very serious, and make sure there is no mistake for this data, because 1 in a million mistake rate means that you basically duplicate the serious incidents in the final report. And then after that, I co-founded ZettaBlock with Chi. Our team actually now have almost 15 engineers. Our chief data architect also led 3 open source projects in Uber before, and he was also the most senior big data expert from Coinbase before joining us. So that's why, we are building, I think very I resonate with your mention that we should move compute closer to the user. Actually, we are doing something similar compared to the existing product in the marketplace. Look at all the data product in the marketplace. We actually put transformation close to the user. So we basically finish the transformation so user can query data much faster. This is actually one of the advantage. I think Chi will walk through the ZettaBlock platform and talk about this in details.
Awesome. Great introduction. And also very impressive background as well. It's not easy to found a company. Giuseppe, did you want to chime in on anything here? I know I could talk a lot.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that I thought following Chi's intro was going to be almost impossible, but Scott, you did great as well.
Yes.
And I mean, I think that you guys touched upon, a couple of questions that we had, especially regarding, what kind of problems, you saw, and what kind of problems that led to, trying to solve them with ZettaBlock. So I thought maybe we could do a little talking about ZettaBlock, maybe a little walkthrough, seeing what kind of use cases are,
100%
frequent.
So I think first off, let's start off with what is ZettaBlock, right? Like I covered a little bit. I just gave like a sentence off of your website, but why don't you give us like that high level bird's eye view? What is ZettaBlock? What do you do? And what gave you this idea to get it started?
Sounds great. So ZettaBlock is a one-stop. It's a unified blockchain data platform to make data indexing, query, analyzing, and sharing extremely easy and flexible. So basically what we did is we abstract out the low-level data layer APIs and queries by providing a single interface for building a unified on-chain and off-chain data layer access. So anyone, no matter they're developers or analysts, can build the public-facing and the real-time APIs and dashboard via ZettaBlock, so that they can pretty much focus on their business logic for serving the data stream out, and also the front end on the user experience. In the future, what they don't need to do anymore is to build and maintain a very complex data infra backend to support all the data needs in their application or decentralized application. And that is pretty much a ZettaBlock overview of ZettaBlock.
Scott, did you want to add anything to that?
I think it's pretty good. Maybe a demo can be easier to explain, because this is a lot very abstract. And
wait, do you have a demo planned for us?
I
Is there a
think
If you
demo?
want.
I think we
Okay,
should,
maybe later.
yeah.
Maybe after. Let's get to the.
Yeah.
Let's finish
Yeah.
through our questions. Giuseppe, I think you had some too.
First of
Yeah.
all, before we get to the question, just FYI, all the developers out there, we just released a blog post on our developers portal that talks a little bit about ZettaBlock. That's based on the first conversation that me and Simone had with Chi about a week ago, and I think we can share the link. And if you guys want to, have a look at that, there is a video demo as well, like a quick walkthrough, and there are also, a few use cases, some screens from the platform, and some also some.
Someone's in trouble.
Things. Yeah. Let me guess, maybe somewhere in New York. I don't know.
Oh, you're in New York, right? Yeah, you're in New York. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No. So we just shared the link to the blog post. It's posted in the chat. Go check it out. It seems like it could be a good one. And then, maybe while you're reading it, watch the episode as well on demand later.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, maybe if you want to talk about some of the use cases / features that are more juicy for our developers about ZettaBlock, and if you want to share your screen and maybe show a little bit and do a walkthrough, feel free.
Sounds good. So actually, before we jump into the use cases, I did realize I forgot to mention how we get into the space and why we are building a solution for. Maybe I can cover this part a little bit.
Let's do it. Yeah.
When we start building ZettaBlock, at that time, like I mentioned, we were trying to solve a modern data infra, like a very fragmented, very complex, like too much complexity, and also don't know how to serve the data out from the data warehouse or lakehouse solutions to the end user facing applications. So when we build that, actually some of our friends from Solana came to us say, hey, Chen Scott, do you have some solution that you can use that we can use to deal with Solana data? Because they're one of the first high throughput chain that generates tons of data like every second. And the existing solutions, like people probably are familiar with, for example, say Doom. Right? At that time, they cannot handle a data volume like that with their platform. So that's how we start looking into the Web3 data ecosystem, data infra or data stack ecosystem, and we do realize this is something I would say like can be dramatically improved by some of the modern data infra solutions. And then we started helping companies like the largest DAX on Solana to build a Bloomberg-like terminal for them. So it's the first time finally they can show to their user. Now, what is the historical trading volume, and it is the historical price of the token in the platform. Because at that time they cannot even show that to the user. So basically, when users get into the DAX, they can only see the current price for buy or sell. That's it, and that's ridiculous, right? In Web2, you would imagine you should be able to see all the historical information to do that. So that's how we started helping Solana, and then later on we expand, and that is for more like the analytics part at that time. And then we start like heard problems or heard requests about helping indexing, because people are when they using the solutions, for example, like the graph or some similar solutions, they run into a lot of issue with reliability and the latency of the API. And that's where we start looking into the solutions in the indexing layer. And we also realize, oh, actually there can be a much better solution for that. And that's how we started like getting into more into the data indexing layer. And then when we look back, we built the analytics and indexing together. That actually is exactly the dream of our ideal world. There should be a unified data platform to help user covering from like the beginning to the end, from the data ingestion, indexing, and transformation, analyzing to sharing from end to end in a very easy manner. For example, just with a one copy of a SQL code, you should do this from end to end. So that's how we realized, oh my God, we have already built something that we think that it should be existing in the world for a while. And that's how like now we tell people, now you have a unified data platform that you can use. And in the channel, actually people ask us, what is the difference between us and the DBank? Actually, I was just reading some of the questions. I would say
Yes.
what you can do on ZettaBlock is you can build your own DBank. Actually, that is some very, very big customers, like the top three, the top three exchange that are building on top of ZettaBlock right now. They are building a DBank on top of us. Yeah.
Awesome. Scott, any additions?
I just want to say this is actually not something new. This is actually, if you go to the best data-driven company like Uber, Facebook, etc., they all have this provided by one unified data platform. So for example, in this case, let's say I want to find arbitrage opportunities. Then I can query the historical analytic data, find all the arbitrage opportunity in the past and figure out what's the percentile looks like. Then if there is a new arbitrage opportunity come out, I can just receive real-time notification and alerting, say, hey, there is arbitrage price discrepancy across different exchanges, decentralized exchange, decentralized exchange. And then I can use the API to interact with this and automate the trade. So this is actually need across all, all the data-driven decision, all the data-driven like customer-facing apps. This is actually needed. But what now in Web3 world is so fragmented. Like if you want to go analytic, you can use maybe dual analytic, flip side. But if you want to go the transactional indexing part, you need to go to the graph. The data is siloed; it's not connected. But in an ideal world, the data should be the one unified one. So you don't have this, different table, different transformation, different quality of data, and then it's just not usable for in different kinds of use case.
I think you both covered the questions as to what the use cases are, where you came up with ZettaBlock, how you came up with it, and then of course, talking about just in general, ZettaBlock, what you provide. So did you want to go through? I mean, I'd say we have roughly another 17 minutes. If you want to go through a quick demo of ZettaBlock. You want to open up your screen and show us what developers might experience the first time they land on your website?
Yeah. We can do that.
Okay, that'd be great. A little bit ad hoc. So just so you know, we didn't plan for a demo today, but here we are looking at a demo. So let's see. If one of you want to share your screen and just quickly I'll bring it up here and you can give us a little demo.
Yeah, sounds good. Give me a second. I'm trying to open the platform right now.
And in the meantime, while you do that, Chi, I just want to give a quick update of my own because, over the last couple episodes, Simone and I were talking about, and this is separate from ZettaBlock. I'm going to make my face big here.
Jeremy segment.
Yeah. This is separate from Jeremy's segment as well. Yeah. So real quickly, we've been talking about having an IoTeX workshop at the ARM Dev Summit, which was going to take place at the end of this month, an in-person event in San Francisco. Unfortunately, the event has transitioned from an in-person event to a virtual event. Now, this has some negative and positive connotations, I guess. In short, it's now a completely free event. It's completely virtual. Simone and I will still be hosting an IoTeX workshop. So you can go to the Dev Summit website and you can sign up for free to the virtual event and then sign up for Simone and my workshop because we're going to be showcasing all sorts of cool stuff about MachineFi and how you can get MachineFi up and running with your first X-to-earn application on an Arduino. So it should be a lot of fun. And like I said, we're still going to be showcasing a really cool IoTeX workshop in the virtual format at devsummit.arm.com. And that's my quick little segment there, segue there. So Chi, you had some time to get the screen up. What happened?
Yep, I can share my screen right now.
All right, let's do it.
Share screen. Okay, very cool. Can you guys see it?
And we're up and running. There we go. Looking good.
Awesome. So just to give you a very high level overview about what ZettaBlock covered here. So like we mentioned, we are a unified data platform that allow you to pretty much use SQL to cover from the data transformation, data indexing, data transformation to data analytics and serving together. And so that's why you can see there's a lot of query that people build on top of ZettaBlock. And after the query is built, that's the beauty of the part ZettaBlock can help you to cover. So you can turn the query to API. And that API is not like analytics API you would see in other analytics tools like Doom or other platforms, but it's what we call the public-facing API. So this public-facing API is you would consider it in data infra term is called transactional API versus analytics API, and this type of API is 1,000 or 10,000 times faster and cheaper compared to when you use analytics API. So that's why you can use that to the public facing for your front end of your decentralized application or your dashboards. And also you can turn this query to charts and add those into your dashboard. And also another very, very exciting stuff is breaking data silo. So how we help users to break data silo is basically you can bring your own off-chain data or like other data that you have been parsed in transformed or processed in your database or data warehouse before, and you can pretty much just easily either serve the CSV file, upload the CSV file to the platform, or you can connect your own internal database like MongoDB to ZettaBlock, and all the data that you have, you want to combine with on-chain data, can be easily joined with on-chain data from this ETL pipeline. And once you have all the data ready, let's say this time we just want to do something with on-chain data. Now we can take a look at, for example, the database. Say if we are interested in the Ethereum mainnet data. By the way, in the blog that posted in the IoTeX channel, that's a demo specifically to IoTeX. So we have we show like how you can find some very interesting insights about total staking of IoTeX per month in that demo. But let's say here I'm interested to see some of the Ethereum data, and say I want to take a look at the decoder logs. So if I click on the preview, as you can see now, you can see all the data is here. And in terms of another thing that I want to emphasize, because of our background, we really make sure, or we really pay attention to the data quality. So internally, we have a very, very generic and comprehensive data quality monitoring and auto recovery framework built underlying of the infra. So that's why for all the chain that we support, we pretty much ensure that guarantee that the data quality we provided is like the best. And another thing is, if you look at the decoder logs, our actually decoder rate right now is for the logs is 90%, and for the traces it's 85%, which hopefully so far we heard from our customer is like really, really amazing to them. And if let's say I want to do something, quick analysis here. Say I am interested in to find out here is among the wallets in Compound. I want to find out the top wallets based on their total trading volume in the past 3 months. And once I identify this wallets, I want to do some basically I'm a competitor of Compound. I want to see for all those top wallets, what are their activities in other in other platforms beyond or like accept Compound. Then once I identify this information, what I want to do is say I want to serve this information to my user or to some of the public facing metrics to my application. So what I can do now is I can easily create an API. Say I want to turn this into a public facing API and click on that. Now let's say I want to every time refresh the data in 5 minutes, and this group by is just showing some of the analytics of this API later on in the API detailed charts, and we probably can skip that for now. And another thing I want to emphasize here is pre-indexing capability. What does that mean is when we help you to build the API, actually underlying the API is a table to serve the data stream to the API, right? We can pre-index all the column of the API or the desired column of the API. So when you query the API, it's going to be extremely fast when you query that particular column. Let's say I am interested to index a label that's later on I wanna query for, and I can even change this data format, field type if I want. But if I say I just want to stay with a default choice, and I click on creates the API. As you can see now, this API is being indexing, and this will show in progress when this indexing is going to be complete. Because this is not a very huge data volume, because we limit that to 1,000, 10,000. It should be very quick. So it's probably like finish that in a few seconds. But we can go to the finished one. Now it's finished. But we can go to a bigger one. So this one actually is the same. It's the same query, but we didn't limit the outputs number of rows. So if you take a look at the logs, actually you will see to ingest actually over 1 million rows into the table and scan through like 1.5 billion records. It's only take 4 minutes in total to index the entire API. So if you do this in some other tools in this marketplace, I would say this probably is going to take you days to finish that, or at least to take like a 20 to 24 hours to finish. And once you get this API, what you can do is just query this API with some of the GraphQL query. So I can take a look at the schema and like just write down some query I want, and click on play. As you can see now, this is going to return all the data points with this particular query. And now you know this is something that makes sense and what you want. So you can just copy and paste this URL and embed that to your application right now. So this is how we show you how you can use just a SQL script to create a subgraph, basically, in the graph, right? Because in the end, when you use the graph to create subgraph, you use GraphQL API to serve the data stream to your application. However, with what ZettaBlock provide, first of all, it's the indexing part is way faster, and also we allow you to do complex join and complex query pattern. So just to look at this query pattern, this is something that's right now you can only do that you can only do that on us. But if you use the graph, it cannot even enable you to do like a join of 2 tables. But here you can join as many tables as you want and do all kinds of group by and some other complex query pattern. And also, if you're, yep. Sorry,
no, please go ahead.
Yeah, and another thing, of course, is dashboards, visualization, and you can just add that to ZettaBlock, and you can even embed that to your own website.
That's amazing. Calling all developers. That's what I was going to say. Calling all developers. Anyone who's interested in building out some amazing, robust system, ZettaBlock seems like a great platform to adopt. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the demo. Scott, Giuseppe, did you want to add anything to this?
I guess
no, I think Chi covered it really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, so I guess the last question on the docket here for you all is, what is next? What is ZettaBlock working on next that might interest developers? Do you have a technical roadmap that you're willing or that you're able to share with us? Some exciting features that are on the queue that developers might be interested in hearing about?
Yep. So I think the most exciting part for developers, most developers we talk to, is in the next 2 months, we're going to enable you to do a seamless migration of subgraph to ZettaBlock. So that means without doing any code change, you can now experience 1,000 times faster indexing and 100 times faster query experience with the subgraph you have already built. And that is one of the exciting features I would say most of the developers we talk to would love to hear. And another thing is we're gonna release our API marketplace very soon, and that means in the future, the developer, when you build your API, you are not only use that for yourself. You're not only use that for your own project, but you can share with the community, and just like how App Store enable people to post all the apps they build for users. Now you can share and make money for the API you build on top of ZettaBlock.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to say 2 things, if I may. One is obviously, it's not a sponsored endorsement, but I really love ZettaBlock. And number 2 is, let's say that, for example, for all the developers that are watching this or will watch it later on demand, like Robert said. So if I go to your website now, we can see that we can apply to be on early access. So as a developer, what do I do? I click on early access, I register, and then when do you think I can start using ZettaBlock?
Yeah, so we already have some. Maybe I didn't mention in the beginning, but we do have V3 alpha version that has been internally tested by a lot of our design partners, including some of the biggest, public blockchain and also some of the largest NFT marketplaces in the industry that are using us heavily right now. And we are almost there in terms of the testing, load testing and everything. And we plan to release to the community in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And if you guys really wanted to test this like soon, please DM me. Please join our Discord and DM me. My Discord name is also called it's called 不子 ZettaBlock. So just to find someone with a ZettaBlock tag and just DM us, say that I need early access for my projects, and we will grant you the access right now.
You know what's easier, Chi, if you share the link to your Discord to the private chat in StreamYard here, and then we can post it in the YouTube channel. Also, Chi and Scott, if you aren't already joined into the IoTeX Discord server, you should be there as well, because there's lots of cool IoTeX stuff happening, and we'd love to have you in there. And of course, I'd be happy to join the ZettaBlock's Discord.
Amazing. We'd love to. And by the way, can I add one more thing? Here, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, yeah. One more thing about the use case part. So, while we were demoing the products, we have not mentioning what is the business use case people are building on top of ZettaBlock. I just want to just to give you some hints or give you some flavor that what you can build with us. So, for example, one thing we see developers really love using ZettaBlock for is deep reverse indexing to, for example, find out the NFT owner of based on the wallet ID or the token ID. Because right now, if you want to do the reverse indexing by yourself, that means you have to, again, maintain a data lake to index the entire blockchain and also serve the data in a public-facing real-time manner, which makes it very challenging. So this is one thing I found a developer like to build, and the user profiling as well. So how to find, how to profile user and then acquire new user or upsell to the existing big users in your project is another thing I found it's very, very, very useful to developers. And of course, customers, bigger customers, they would like to do ecosystem monitoring and competitor analysis or tax and compliance with blockchain data. So all kinds of this type of business use cases is something we observe that happening on ZettaBlock. And in the near future, we will post all those use cases and case study on top in our website. So you can check in our website, hopefully in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and you will see more and more information come out.
Sweet. Thank you.
All righty. Well, so Chi, Scott, we're going to close out the ZettaBlock section. We usually reserve a small amount of time at the end of every section here for Jeremy's Discord minutes. But I will say, as soon as we bring him in, he usually has a question or two for our guests as well. So we're going to give him an opportunity to maybe ask you a question too. And there's the big guy. What's up, Jeremy?
Hello everyone. Hey.
Go ahead, take it away.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. I'm really fascinated by the presentation that ZettaBlock just gave. I actually found myself in my developer experience that creating subgraphs and querying the blockchain to be quite cumbersome, especially if you want to focus on front-end development. So from your live demo, it seems like that will just be a piece of cake now. And especially if you can write queries and then monetize them and sell them onward, that will be great, like an app store. It's just fantastic. So I didn't prepare any questions specifically, maybe just one. When will this be available on IoTeX? When can I create my first queries?
IoTeX is ready, so you guys can use that now. Yeah, so we help the index and decoded all the IoTeX transaction data from Genesis block.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! Great. I can't get I can't wait to get my hands on that. Moving away from ZettaBlocks for a second, I wanted just to convey my sincere regards to you guys, but let's switch to Discord topics now. So I wanted to do a bit of a summary of some of the questions I was asked on Discord, or maybe not just me, but the whole community asked on Discord. So maybe Robert, can you maybe focus the scene on me? I'd like to configure my OBS. I'd like to present my desktop a bit. Let me know if this is visible. Is it readable?
It is.
Okay, great. So basically, there were a couple of questions on the IoTeX Discord over the past couple of weeks since the last IoTeXperts about the bug bounties. So basically the main questions were focused about bug bounties and vulnerabilities in the blockchain or API and stuff like that, and questions whether IoTeX was audited and such and etc. So basically, yes. So IoTeX has a bug bounty program which was launched. If you have a look at this blog post, the Hacking Partnership was announced on the May 20th of this year. There's quite a bit of money, even up to $15,000 per critical bug bounty. So it's big money to be had here if you are a good developer, a good hacker. And primarily we're looking for business logic issues, payment manipulation, remote code execution, and injection vulnerabilities. So smart contracts, etc. IoTeX Core is not out of the question. However, currently we are looking at these. There was also a question about IoTeX Core not being a part of this. However, IoTeX Core has been audited, but it is out of scope for this bug bounty. Maybe in the future we'll have one specifically for IoTeX Core. There is, however, before I go into this section, you can actually go in and look into the IoTeX project GitHub page, on the Grants page. There are a couple, they're not really called bug bounties, but they are bounties. So basically, you could review those if you want to contribute to the IoTeX ecosystem, and you could also look into the IoTeX Core repository. And if you go to the issues, there's a nifty feature that you could use in GitHub. There's labels, so you can notice all of these bugs are labeled. Like this one's a bug, this one's an enhancement. You can go to labels, and you can actually choose like a good first issue, for example. So if you're new to this bug bounty program, or if you just want to contribute to the IoTeX ecosystem, especially if you want to contribute to IoTeX Core, this is a good first issue for you to look at. They're all tagged as good first issues, and it's a great introduction to the IoTeX ecosystem. So that's that about bug bounties. They're mostly focused about API here and wallet and the remote code executions. They are the most critical vulnerabilities, and smart contracts and similar stuff was actually recently reviewed, but the partnership has been ongoing. As you can see, according to this post on cryptonews.net, it's the IoTeX partnership with Certic, a globally renowned auditor for smart contract security and blockchain security, has actually been partnered since almost the inception of the whole blockchain. IoTeX was founded in 2017, and Certic has been a partner since 2018. It's actually a very interesting article. I highly recommend you read it. It's describing how monetary loss of a blockchain is less impactful than the data if the data is stolen from a blockchain, because the data can be used against you while the money is just a financial loss. So that's very interesting stuff. I know we are running short of time, so I don't really want to go into details about other stuff. Let's just make myself bigger again. I wanted to just touch on a couple more topics, just more tips and tricks. So we had a question recently about a about some node syncing errors, about some delegate changing name, how to change the delegate name, about the minimum requirements for a IoTeX node. It's actually been increasing recently since the blockchain data, the database has been increasing. It's actually, last time I checked, if I have a look at the data, you can't see my screen anymore, but unzipped, the whole archive is around 165 gigabytes. So that's just for the data. So you need the minimum requirements are constantly increasing, but there's still, you can still run it on Raspberry Pi if you really wish to. What else? There's some scalability issues. I invite you to the IoTeX Discord server. Robert, I guess you can post a link. I think the link was already posted to our Discord server. I invite you all to come there to join us on the discussion. And that's all. That's all from my side.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Always great to have you provide your Discord minutes here. And on a personal note, and on behalf of IoTeX, I would like to thank Chi and Scott from the bottom of my heart for joining us, spending your hour here talking to our community. It means a whole deal to us and our developers. So thank you very much. Do you have any last words that you would like to say? A shameless plug of sorts, if you may?
For sure, definitely. Why not? So, guys, we will. Thank you so much for listening to this live stream. And Scott and I will be in the IoTeX Discord in a minute. And feel free to drop off any messages there. And if you have any questions about how ZettaBlock can help you to build your IoTeX related projects, just let me know and let us know, and we will more than willing to help you ASAP.
Excellent. And you, Scott?
Sorry.
If you want, you can just wave and say goodbye.
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks, guys. Really nice to meet you.
Awesome. Giuseppe,
Right.
last words, Giuseppe, you're muted.
I want to shamelessly invite everybody who hasn't done so to sign up for the developers portal and look at the amazing content that we keep on building every week, and also check out the new article about ZettaBlock with Chi's presentation video. And yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know how we can improve, and thank you for being here.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, once again, a successful IoTeXperts live stream. Thank you all for joining. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you in the next IoTeXperts live stream 2 weeks from now, same time, same place. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe to the IoTeX YouTube channel. We'll see you all next week. Take care.